back to the design studio today. I am Kat, owner of KatsCreationsNMore, and today I'm going to show you how to put together a breast cancer tulip wreath using the Dollar Tree. They call it a remembrance ribbon frame, but it is the awareness frame. So you can pick those up at Dollar Tree online, or you can find them in your Dollar Tree store. I will cover the rest of the materials here in a second. Couple housekeeping items. One, if you want to share or save this tutorial and you're on Facebook, just click the share button down below. Hi, Cheryl. If you are on YouTube and catching this on a replay and you're signed into your YouTube account, all you have to do is hit save. It saves this tutorial to your account. To turn notifications on so that you don't miss any of these incredible tutorials, you want to make sure that you are liking and following my page. We are so close from hitting the 40,000 follower mark. It really helps to have every single person like and follow the page. You have to have both of those turned on in order for you to be notified whenever I go live. Some people just think, well, it's a like or it's just a follow. No, you have to have both. So like is easy enough to find. The follow button is hidden. The three dots to the far right, just underneath my picture. If you click on those, it should open up a little submenu. You just want to make sure that the following button has already been selected, and then you should be all set. If you are on YouTube, just subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified whenever we go live or have a new video uploaded for you. Hi, Elizabeth. So Steve's joining me tonight, so he's going to be doing my comments for me.
Hi, everyone.
I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. Do that right now. So bear with me 1 second. This is what we're working on tonight. Let me go ahead and make sure I can pull everything up that I need. Okay, come on. I'm going to go ahead and pin my website down below for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have not heard about my rewards program, you're going to want to possibly sign up for that. It is for $5 a month. We do different rewards every single month. Every month we give away one of the wreath designs that I have created. And in addition to that, depending upon how many members we have every single month, we give away other things like sign bundles, ribbon bundles. This last September, we did a fall welcome wreath, we did a wreath kit, and we did a 3 sign bundle. So, and in addition to that, everybody gets the materials list, the video link, and the photo for the wreath that we're giving away, so that if you don't win it, you have the shopping list to go ahead and go out and order all of your materials, and then you can replicate that following the video. So this is the awareness, or as Dollar Tree calls it, the remembrance ribbon frame. I think this is, I'm looking, it is just a touch over 18.5 inches high. And if we go over to the side and try to find it at its widest point, it's almost 10 inches or just a touch over 10 inches at its widest. Depends on if it's here or down here. So the first thing we want to do is cover all the materials. I have already broken down all of my tulips because I needed to make sure I had enough. So these are 10 bunches of Michael's tulips that were available, and during the spring they either have the all magenta tone tulips, or they have ones that are kind of they're a mix. So they kind of have the magenta shade, and then they have the pink on the side. So we're going to be doing a combination of these for a light and dark look. So you will need 10 bunches of those, and I think the Michael's tulips have 8 picks, eight little individual pieces like this that make up a bunch. So 2 different colors there. The Dollar Tree remembrance ribbon frame. Well, we're going to be adding a ribbon to this using the pink and white. So this is let's see if you can find this. It is the breast cancer angel wings that has strength, hope, courage, and I think that's it. It just replicates. Pairing that with a pink and white striped ribbon and then a pink and white gingham ribbon, and then that should be it for the entire design. We're going to be using 6-inch zip ties to zip tie all of the tulips onto the frame using just this middle rail only. So all of the bunches that I'm adding are going to go here, around the top, and then back down here. We're going to add our bow to the center so that we do not take away from the integrity of the design. We still want the hole in the middle. We still want the separation so that it looks like the awareness ribbon we're all used to. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the bow, because I've done this in the past where we really focus on filling it to the max. And then when we add this bow in the center, it takes away quite a few of the tulip space that would normally be here. And you cover them up, you don't see them. So we're going to add the bow first, and then we're going to go around and add all of our tulips in. Any questions before we start? Hi, Deborah. Hi, Diane. Hi, Steve. I said hi, Cheryl. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Lori. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to set this aside. We're going to go ahead and use the bow dabra, and we're going to create our ribbon. So the first thing I'm going to do is dovetail my ribbon. I did have scissors out here. Yes. We're going to start by cutting on the folded side all the way down to the wired point. And I think this one, I'm going to look, because we don't want it overly big, because we don't want it to hang down longer than the actual awareness ribbon. So I'm thinking that is a good part, and I'm thinking that's about 6 inches. It's 7, so we're going to do 7 inches in, and then we're going to do 4.5 inches for our loop length. So we're just sliding that down. Going to push this up and then verify that my ribbon length should come in at 4.5. It's not, it's actually at 5. So I'm going to pull that in a little bit further. Go ahead and up and around one more time. We're going to make sure that's here. This wreath is actually available for sale on the website currently. It just doesn't have a photo of it. But since October is breast cancer awareness breast cancer awareness, I thought that this would make the perfect design to start off October with. This is a design that I did in our private group quite a while ago. Never showed it to the public group, so we're doing it for the public group tonight. Again, we're going to dovetail the ends, just like that. I will make sure that my ribbon now is at 6.5 inches, so we're coming down a 1/2 inch. And we're going to do the same thing on our bow. And I'm starting to like rethink this. I'm like, should I have done double bows and double bows? Not sure. Let's see what this one looks like. And if I need to go back in, we can add a set of double bows to this. And this just moved. So let's make sure that I am coming in at, it's like 4.25. And then this is going to be here. There's that. I don't remember if I had done it a double loop before. I'm just like thinking to myself, is it going to be big enough? Is it going to be full enough? Is it going to be thick enough to support the design? We shall see. Okay. And I'll also clarify where all the ribbon came from. So the breast cancer or 2.5 inch ribbon came from Craft Outlet. This 1.5 inch striped came from PLY Wreath Signs, which is personally yours. But she's like, since creating her own website, it comes up under PLY Wreath Signs. And this one's going to be at 6. And we're going 3.5 inch for the loop. Let's just make sure. Going here. Pulling this back in and making sure all of my ribbon lengths are where they need to be. This way they're not too overwhelming, but still kind of get the point across. And we are going to go with, I'm trying to think if I want to go white or I want to go pink. I'm thinking the pink I have might be bubblegum pink color, like a late pink, but let me see what I have. Oh, I do have one that will fit. That kind of falls in here, this magenta color. So we'll go with that. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that down. And then this way we don't have to worry about covering up tulips. Okay. Since this is going to be a ribbon that sits here, so the tails are going to need to come down to the bottom. We're just going to pull all those down now. And we're just going to fluff, like right here in my hand. Here's the bottom open. This bottom is open. I'm going to pull these up. Open that up. I'm just trying to see the fullness of the ribbon. I'm like, do I want to go and add additional ribbon? I don't think I need to. So I'm going to secure this right here on the crisscross. I'm actually going to have to go up. I'm going to go up, up and over. I had them this way, and when I did that, all it was doing is sliding down. Even though, you know, as tight as I get it, it still has some movement. So if we can get it pretty tight, because I don't want it to move from where I set it up. I think that's good.
There was hi, having KFC with my grandson, and of course watching our favorite teacher.
Aww. Hello and welcome.
Trevor said, I love it already. Elizabeth loved the bow and ribbon.
Okay, so the way that we're going to design this is I'm just going to kind of pull the tails back so that we can go ahead and work these two areas down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in bunches of 3. Some will have 2 heads, some will only have, or some have 3, some may only have 1. You're going to see there's a variation. I'm going to leave the greenery in, but I'm going to push them up so that we have a more full look. Here's another one with that magenta in it. Let's push these up. I didn't mean to push them all the way up. Sometimes that's the downside of pushing them up, is there's no end on them. So we're going to go ahead and push these in. Always make sure that your bottom tulip, if it's the longest, is hanging out the bottom. Just like that. And then you want to trim up all of your stems so that they are all roughly the same end. And we're going to start. Don't need that anymore. we're going to start right here by placing them on this middle rail. So we want to make sure that we cover the end. We're going to use our 6-inch zip tie. And what I want to do is make sure that my tulips come in. I've got that really, really long one. I'm trying to push it to the center. But I want to make sure I have enough to cover the very bottom. So it's going to look a little sloppy initially till I get them on, zip tied around, pull them up, get them situated where they should go, pull greenery where greenery needs to be. But our whole goal really is not so much this one, it's to make sure that the bulk of this is covering those ends. Okay. Make sure we get that one back up. And then we're going to go ahead and snip this off. If you want, you can go ahead and remove the extra pieces. And then we're going to create another bunch. So just like this. Kind of tuck that under. Make sure all of my ends are the same. And this one's going to kind of come in right here. So I kind of push them up so that they have just enough. I think we're going to get about 3 bunches underneath here. If I can get my zip tie to stay in place while I'm trying to get everything. I'm going to do one more set. And sometimes when you order your tulips from Michael's, you'll get a whole bunch of tulip heads that are in the box. Just take those extra tulip heads out and just hang on to them, because it's likely you're going to come across one of your stems that, like right here, is missing a tulip head and it fell off in the process of shipping those. Okay, and this is going to basically cover the gap right here. Right inside. It's funny how quickly I put this whole thing together yesterday just to make sure. I'm like, will I have enough? Yes, you do. And then, like I said, we'll end up refluffing this. We're going to go ahead and do this other side. Same way. We will take our tulip head and make sure they all get where they need to go. Making sure they're all trimmed up at the bottom so it's just easier when you go to zip tie them on the frame. Like this one's a little nicer. We've got like the perfect set for right here. Trying to get it nice and tight so they don't swivel. Generally that all pans out once you add your next ones. This one's still got a tag on it, which is why it's preventing the greenery from going up. Price tags, price tags, price tags. Okay. Trim all the stems. Come back in, lay those right on the top. Those are all set. And we've got one more bundle to add in. Oops. Trim that one down just a bit more. Always making sure I have my zip tie in my hand. Kind of tuck these up right over the top. There's my zip tie. Nice and full right there. Go ahead and remove this. And make sure all of our bow is fluffed out. And we'll come back in if we need to and add more tulips to that center. But let's get the top of our awareness ribbon complete. So up here, you need them to stay focused in one direction, because the whole point of an awareness ribbon is it starts in one direction, goes all the way over, and then obviously you would want both ends to look similar. You wouldn't want to have upside down tulips with the stems out here. So that's the reason why we did this. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep them all facing this direction. They're all going to kind of fall around, and then they're all going to go this way just underneath that bow. So let's go ahead and make sure our greenery is pushed up. We're going to start putting together all of, oops, let's get this one mixed in. Sometimes all of our tulips need is just a little bit of extra support. So sometimes taking those really long ones that are kind of droopy and just run them up through. And I'm going right up here. And I'm going to start with my first bundle. Stems are going down underneath the bow. And I'm just going to pull this aside. And I don't want to let go of my bundles. And of course, I handed myself my zip tie upside down. Nice and tight. And then we can push that back down. So once we get it on the frame, push it back down. Okay. Pushing these up. I'm trying to think how I did this. I think I did them this way, which means these ones would go this way. I'm going to try something different, a little bit different. I'm going to try to bring these up, and then we're just going to fan them to the outside. So I'm just going to tuck these up under, because they almost need to be up here. I'm going to start here and then fan them down, because they need to lay on top of each other and not under each other. Watch. This is what I'm talking about. Let me get this one in. We might have to take that last bunch out. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. One. That one doesn't have any on there. 2. See how this one's missing one? 3. Let's cut these down. Okay, cutters. There you go. These lay on top of. and then they cascade down and around. Trying to get them on top of the other stem. There we go. Because it's easier to stack them than to try to like push them underneath. Okay. Need to find out where that one came off its stem. Where did it go? Let's take this one off so we can see. Where did we lose? It's right here. Popped it right off the stem. We'll fix this so it won't come back off again. Sometimes it does as we're pushing them in or pushing them down. They have a tendency of coming off their little stem bundle. Okay. And this is where the majority of your tulips are going to go, is around this section up here. So try not to get so overly focused to fill in every gap, because eventually it will, as you lay in your next set of tulips, you'll see that they'll start to fill in. Sometimes you get ones that go a little bit lower. Sometimes you get the others that come up a little higher. Okay. Oops. Trying to get them locked in nice and tight so they stay on that frame, because there's not much to keep it on the frame because it could technically swivel. So we just want to make sure that if we can, we're keeping everything as tight as we can. It's always nice if you have more than enough, but when your design just calls for exact amount, you need to make sure that you're getting that design in. So I'm going just a little bit higher on this one so that I can pull my stems in that are just under this bundle, and they're just like hanging out the outside, so it might look a little weird because I've wrapped in 6 stems right here. Okay, let's go ahead and grab these, push these up. Let's cut those way down. There we go. So how we've got these really long ones, we're going to kind of let those fall and cascade over the sides. Those are what become your fillers for your sides. Same thing, trying to pull that bundle back in. And afterwards, if you still feel like it's not secure enough, you can always go back in afterwards and take your zip tie from the reverse and tighten them in. Okay, I don't want to smash these. Let's go ahead and see if we can squeeze one more bundle in with these. See how this one's just a 2? There's some that are going to be 2. And there's some that are going to be 3s. We want some lighter pink in that one.
Katie asked, where did you get the wreath frame? I think it was the Dollar Tree, actually, right?
Yeah, wreath frame was from the Dollar Tree, Katie.
Yep.
And they have them available now. If they are not in your local Dollar Tree store, you can order them online. Just look up Remembrance Ribbon, because that's how Dollar Tree has them listed. Or you can just like do a generic search and put in wreath frames. Okay, this one's going to be a little tight. And I'm going to try to grab the bundles from before. nice and tight. And then we're going to fluff the tulips that were there prior. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this. Spacing is going to be the key for you in working out your entire design. You know, making sure, do I have enough tulips to go through the entire design? See, like this one, I want it on this head. And this one, let's find some greenery for that. Again, cut all these down. Okay, I'm just going to attempt to get these ones. How do I want to do these? I need to do them the same again. Hang tight. I'm trying to figure some things out logistically. Do I want to do them like this? I think this is what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to come down here and start with this lower bunch and then back it up. Because remember I told you we want to kind of keep the flow going in the same general direction. Trying to make sure I'm throwing away all my scraps. Here's this one. We're going to push this up. Pair that together. And we're going to lay those right over the top. Again, if you can grab the bunch, the little end pieces that are from the bunch before, all that helps you do is just like secure both bundles in to the frame. So I've got just the tail ends of these under this bunch. And see these long ones? You've got to move them so that they're closer to the outside, like towards the ends. Okay, there's that one. This one. Trying to push some of the lighter pinks out of the way. There we go. Let's see this one. We had a tulip head come off. We're going to attach the tulip head back on. Pair those together, but we need to make sure our greenery gets pushed up so that they make cute little bunches. And we don't want the stems too short because then they fall out when you go to secure them in. So again, I was able to grab the bunch before, just those little ends, and these are getting tightened with this one. So what I'm doing when I'm saying I'm grabbing the bunch before, when I go to zip tie it, like my zip tie might be here, so I'm going to also grab these to give it an extra little secure boost. See why you keep all of your tulip heads? You just never know what you're going to get. Okay, let's push this one up. Push this off to the side. Trim, trim. And we're going to lay that bunch in. See how the outside ones do the due diligence of covering the sides. Okay. Probably about another 2 bunches maybe. Here's our long ones. So I just pull the longs in. Let's take this one off. Let's add this one to this bunch and then add it to the mix. Trim that down. See how it's filling up our frame. Oops. It's always the toughest trying to get it through that little square end. Okay. Need some with some greenery, please. There we go. Okay. This is where it gets tough, because we've got to get the one bunch in under the other. So I'm going to come in right here, try to squeeze this one in, and then I could probably squeeze one more bunch in to fill the gap. There's that. So we'll put one more bunch in. Let's see if we can get some greenery. It never fails whenever you can't get your greenery up. Just look, and more than likely, you probably have a price tag in there. Just the residual piece of sticker paper, and that'll keep that from going up. So again, I'm going to kind of try to pick those up. I'm going to try to push them sideways. Trying to go under. Okay, I keep popping my tulip heads off. Okay, again, your long ones, push them down and forward. Here's where it fell off. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
So we've got a big bunch of bundles. I'm actually going to take a couple and fill this in a bit more. I'm going to pull up the bunch that I had before, and we're going to fill that last gap because I have a few of these left. So let's pull up and really fill this with every bunch that I can possibly stuff in. Okay. I'm going to lift this up. See if we can get that one right into that frame, because that would make it perfect. Yikes. It's tight because I've got everything, all the stems, all the pieces. Let me do this real quick because this just makes this process so much easier, and I have extra zip ties. I'm going to tie my bundle together because then it's easy for me not to lose that while I'm trying to actually secure that to the frame, because that just makes that process so much easier to do now, so that I can just reach under, grab my zip tie, secure that bundle, and bring it back down into our frame. Let's go ahead and trim this. Let's get our bow all positioned where it needs to go. I'm going to pull those down, because now I can fit my bow in there. I'm going to get those up, in, flipped. Okay, now I have some space where I can see right in here, and I have a couple pieces, and this is exactly, again, I did that whole thing where I pushed up too far. Gonna make sure that does not come off. Let's pair that with this. Let's get them both cut down. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to zip tie them together so I don't have to worry about losing track of securing those two together. And then this is just going right here into this middle area, right in here. So this is where I was saying now's not too late for you to flip your frame over. So if we flip our frame over, right, these are where I need to secure these. Sometimes it's just much easier to do it from the back. I am attempting to get my zip tie in and around my center ring. And now I can go ahead and secure that extra piece that was kind of missing in that hole so that we could fill that full of all of our tulips. And as you can tell, we still have the hole in the center. If you have areas where you feel like, maybe I want to add, a couple right here, you have an option. You could zip tie them in, or if you just have a lot of little extra tulip heads, you can kind of come in and just add with glue, just glue those in those places where maybe you want to see, I don't know, an extra tulip head. Most of the time it's just a matter of just rearranging what's already there, because sometimes they just need redirectional help to put those in. But like, I like the idea of kind of tucking a couple extras in here, but it's only a 2. So I'm just going to add some glue. I'm going to go in and tuck that to my stem, but I want another one in here. So I'm going to take my tulip head. I'm going to add some glue to the end of my tulip head, because this was only a 2, and I'm going to make it a 3. And you can do that all the way around your wreath design. If you've got some openings that you want to cover, like I have a couple in here that I would just like to see some greater coverage. So I'm going to flip this back upside down. So I've got a hole right here. And see, look at how many of the tulips have kind of found their way on the inside. So I'm going to take this one and this one. And I'm going to kind of pull one on either side, just so they give more coverage to their outside. Go ahead and pull my zip tie, if I can find the end. I've got it right here. And I've got both of those locked in on a crossbar. Flipping it back over. I have now filled all the holes. And so you can just go around the whole outside, take a sneak peek underneath. Do you have any openings that need to be covered? Anything. Let's get rid of that one. Redirecting some longer heads. And let's see. Go ahead and pop this one back on. Just like that. And I think I am all settled. I'm like going around looking at the whole outside, inside, making sure we have full coverage everywhere. this is what it looks like to you guys on your end. We're going to go ahead and put it on the door so that you can see the whole thing. It's a little hard to see the whole thing here. So I'm going to pivot you up. Steve's already behind me, snatching the wreaths off the door. And there we go. So, not covering the back. Why? Because we have multiple hanging options. You can hang it towards the bottom of your frame, or you can hang it a little bit more on the upper side of your frame. But this is the way that it is going to sit. And we will go ahead and fluff all of our loops. But I just thought that this would be a little nicer than your standard, I don't know, deco mesh, ribbon, whatever, tulip wreath.
Yeah, for awareness.
Yeah, and you can do this with any awareness. Like, you don't have to necessarily do pink for breast cancer. Obviously, October is breast cancer month, and I just happen to have one of these wreath forms available. You can do red for heart awareness. You can do blue for ovarian cancer. It's entirely up to you. Let me go ahead and zoom in.
Yeah, that's what Cheryl said. She used to work at the cancer center, and they have the same shape in different colors for different cancers.
Right. Just like so. And that is all put together. It looks weird when I zoom in. I'm like, there's like, I just need to come in here and fluff these ones up that are kind of not really laying the way I want them to lay. Because I'm like, there's just like this weird pocket that I was seeing in the thing. I was like, it just looked like it had more right here and not as much right here. So, okay, let me look. I think we fixed it. Yeah. So, there you guys have it. We finished up this design for Friday. And I will see you guys next week with more designs. So I hope you guys come back and join me for that. All right. Bye for now, everyone. Oop. Trying to gain. Normally I don't let all the clutter pile up.